fellow beings, my name is Amanda, and today we are going to be talking about endometriosis. Now, I just need to put a warning out there. I guess not really a warning, just a notification that this is going to be talking about women's health, and if for some reason that makes you uncomfortable, then maybe this isn't the video for you. I personally have no problems talking about women's health. I have no problems talking about my own body. I grew up in a household that was very open and we talk about everything. So, just letting you know that I am not going to be shy in this video when we talk about endometriosis. So endometriosis is actually a painful disorder where cells similar to what lines the uterus, the endometrium, grows outside of the uterus. And it can be in your ovaries, it can be in your fallopian tubes, it could be in the lining of your pelvis. Very rarely does the endometrial lining leave the pelvic area, but it can actually go up to the brain. So, great things. So this may be a little confusing because maybe you don't know about what the endometrial lining is, maybe you don't know about the menstrual cycle. So I found a video that is public domain, so if I get flagged for this, I'm going to be really mad because I checked a billion times and it is public domain. And I'm just going to show you a small clip from a 1946 movie made by Disney about the menstrual cycle. And I'm just going to show a clip of what happens during the menstrual cycle so that you can understand what the endometrial lining is, so that we can continue on with this video to make a little more sense. So let's watch this video.
These organs function in a continuous cycle. The pituitary gland starts the process when it sends its maturing hormones down through the bloodstream to the ovaries. Now one of the ovaries passes on an order of its own to the uterus. It tells the cells which make up the lining of the uterus to multiply and fill themselves with watery fluids and blood. This begins to build up a thickened lining of somewhat velvety material. At the same time, an ovary has been maturing an ovum or egg, which is magnified here so that we can see it. About once a month, one of these tiny eggs passes out of the ovary and finds its way into a fallopian tube, where it moves along toward the uterus. If the egg is impregnated, which happens when a woman is going to have a child, the egg will stay within the uterus. Then the thickened lining will provide nourishment for the budding human being through the early days of its development. However, most eggs pass through the fallopian tubes without being fertilized. When this happens, there's no use for that potential nourishment in the built-up lining of the uterus. And so, in a few days, it passes from the body. This is the flow which we call menstruation. So, as we see now, menstruation is just one routine step in a normal and natural cycle that is going on continuously within the body. The time between periods is usually about 28 days. However, it may be shorter for some girls, longer for others. The flow itself may last anywhere from 3 days to 7.
Now that you know about the menstrual cycle and what the endometrial lining is inside the uterus, we'll talk a little bit more about endometriosis. So the endometrial tissue, no matter where it's growing, will act like it does inside the uterus. It thickens, it breaks down, and it bleeds anywhere that it's growing. So imagine that attached to your intestines, or attached to your stomach, or attached to your bladder. So imagine having a menstrual cycle, but it's not just involving your uterus, it's involving your entire pelvic area. When endometrial tissue attaches to different parts of the pelvic area, it can cause irritation, and that can also cause scarring. And so one way to diagnose endometriosis, actually the only way to diagnose endometriosis 100%, is to do surgery where you look for scar tissue. And I had a laparoscopy in 2013, And that's when we knew for sure that I had endometriosis, but I was diagnosed with it when I was 10 and a half. So I've had this a very, very long time, and it's not been fun. Because of that scar tissue, it can cause inflammation in different organs in your pelvic area, and it can cause them to attach to each other. This can cause pain. It can cause severe pain, especially during your menstrual cycle, and it also can cause infertility. So let's talk about the symptoms of endometriosis. The number one symptom is pelvic pain, and this can usually correlate with your menstrual cycle, but it can be at any time. You can have pelvic pain at any time not related to your menstrual cycle. The one thing I do want to stress is that when pain is involved, it is far worse than what normal menstrual pain is. So you may have people complain about maybe a twinging pain, or it aches and they put a heating pad on and then they feel better. Endometriosis is crippling, and you could end up in a ball on your bed not wanting to move because you hurt so bad. And when you have scar tissue attached to everything else, not only do you have menstrual cramps, but you can also have pain in your other organs. So for me, mine is attached to my bladder and to my intestines, so it's great. It's super great. Wonderful. So let's talk about some symptoms. Symptoms can include painful periods, dysmenorrhea, pain with intercourse, pain with bowel movements or urination, excessive bleeding, infertility, and other signs and symptoms like fatigue, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, or nausea, especially during menstrual periods. So there's a whole slew of things that can happen when you have endometriosis, and it is not a pleasant experience. The causes of endometriosis are not really known. There are a few theories on what it could be, but it's not 100% sure on exactly what causes endometriosis. Some of the theories are retrograde menstruation, transformation of peritoneal cells, embryonic cell transformation, surgical scar implantation, endometrial cell transport, or immune system disorders. So it could be one of those, it could be all of those, it could be none of those. They're not 100% sure, but they do have some theories on what could be the cause of endometriosis. This is just a quick video on what endometriosis is and the symptoms of it, and I just want you to know that if you do suffer from endometriosis, my heart goes out to you. It is not something that I wish on anybody. It is a horrible condition that really messes with your life and can cause you to be non-functional for over a week every single month. So it's not something that I wish on anybody. And please know that if someone tells you that they have endometriosis, it is not something to just be like, oh yeah, periods hurt. It is far worse than that. So please have compassion on people who have endometriosis, and remember to always be kind. That's what I always say, remember to be kind. If you are interested in learning about chronic illnesses, disabilities, handicaps, or just living with chronic illnesses, then go ahead and click that subscribe button, and go ahead and click this like button if you did enjoy this video or if you learned something from this video, because that helps me and my channel out a lot. Remember to be kind. Kindness is free, so give it out to everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So in simple terms, where the something today is a day of trying to remember how to say things. Words. Transformation of peritoneal cells. Sales? I don't know what a sale is. Hopefully that made sense. Because my brain is not working today. Not working. Are you gonna come say hi? Come here. Yes. You come up here. Everyone wants to see your face. Come on. Yes, you. Should I pick you up? Yes. Oh, big boy. Yes. You say hi to the camera. You say hi. Yeah. Everybody loves the Winston. Yes. He's my good boy. Yes. Okay, you can get down if you want. Or not. It's up to you. Up to you, my little squishy. My little squishy, squish, squish, squish. Yes. All right. There you go. Now you have seen him. There you go.